Hello and welcome to Infusion, your dose of high-octane blood. Today we're going to talk about fast and beautiful cars. There's a very clear image of what makes a true supercar. A supercar is not an ordinary automobile. It is something you lust over. It's something fast, loud, and dramatic. When you think of the Lamborghini Miura, McLaren F1, or Pagani Huayra, you'll notice there's a proven recipe for making a legendary supercar. Apart from their game-changing appearance, there's a V12 somewhere in the back, roaring and screaming at everything and everyone daring to come close to their exhausts. However, not all supercars in history had massive engines pushing them to automotive stardom. There's a common misconception that supercars need to have at least 8 cylinders under their hoods, and we've made a list that proves otherwise. So, here are the 8 greatest supercars with less than 8 cylinders. Number 1. Honda NSX. A car developed by Honda and Pininfarina and fine-tuned by none other than Ayrton Senna, has been a period-defining supercar, and Honda NSX was just that. The initial spark came from the 1984 HPX concept car, which stood for Honda Pininfarina Experimental, and it later evolved into NSX, New Supercar Experimental. The idea behind the NSX was to challenge the contemporary Ferrari mid-engine supercars, but rather than sporting a V8, the NSX has either a 3-liter or a 3.2-liter V6. The NSX was extensively tested at the demanding Suzuka racetrack by Senna and Satoru Nakajima. That resulted in superb handling thanks to perfectly balanced suspension and chassis stiffness. The car was introduced in 1990, and it stayed in production until 2005, which serves as proof of how the original concept can remain relevant for such a long time when it's executed well right from the start. Number 2. The Porsche 959. Back in the mid-80s, the biggest battle in the automotive world was led by Ferrari and Porsche. In one corner, there was the outrageous F40. In the other, its arch-rival, the sophisticated German tour de force called Porsche 959. The 959 was the utmost evolution of the 911 concept, and it was intended to be Porsche's entry into the highly experimental Group B rally series. A team of Porsche engineers, led by Helmut Butt, reinvented the familiar silhouette and Kevlar composite shell, but the true upgrades were under the wide body. The powerhouse was a rear-mounted, twin-turbocharged 2.8-liter flat 6, derived from the 956 and the 962 endurance race cars. The potent flat 6 had 450 horsepower, 6-speed manual transmission, an innovative PSK all-wheel drive, which later found its way into the 964 series 911 Carrera 4. Was it enough to beat Ferrari and make the 959 the ultimate car of its era? We want to know what you think. Write us in the comments below. Number 3. The Nissan GT-R. With its engine up in front, the Nissan GT-R differs from other supercars out there. Some wouldn't even call it a supercar due to its 3.5-liter V6 engine and typical sports car layout. However, what makes the GT-R a super rather than just a car are its unreal abilities on and off the racetracks. Both stock and modified, the GT-R got its supercar killing reputation for a reason, embarrassing more expensive automobiles on drag strips, tracks, and stoplight races all around the world. Number 4. The BMW M1. The BMW M1 was a product of a highly unlikely collaboration between the Bavarian sports sedan royalty and the most dramatic Italian supercar company of the times. The Giugiaro-designed wedge supercar was envisioned as a homologation special intended for Group 5 racing series and was co-developed with Lamborghini. The Italian company soon backed out from the project, so the final assembly was completed by Italian Engineering, a team founded by a group of enthusiastic ex-Lamborghini employees. The M1 was built with 453 pieces, making it one of the rarest mass-produced BMWs, and it was powered by a 3.5-liter M88-1 straight-six engine, one of the best six-bangers ever created. In the end, the M1 even had its own Pro Car BMW M1 Championship, which ran for 2 years, with Formula One legends Niki Lauda and Nelson Piquet winning the trophies in the 1979 and 1980 season respectively. Number 5. The Porsche 911 GT1. The 1990s GT1 class was who's who of the automotive world, with the likes of Ferrari F40, McLaren F1, and Mercedes-Benz CLK GTR on the grids. And Porsche naturally wanted its piece of glory. So, the 911 GT1 was formed. Despite the fact that its name suggests 911 roots, this car had little to do with the rear-engine sports car. In fact, it shared only the lights and some parts of the front suspension layout, so it was a rather distant 911 relative. Unlike its mass-produced namesake, the scarce 911 GT1 had a 3.2-liter twin turbocharged mid-mounted flat-six pushing 536 horsepower in-street version. The lack of cylinders and a slight detune didn't tame this potent beast, which could reach 191.4 miles per hour with a 0 to 60 sprint, taking 3.9 seconds. Number 6. The Ford GT. The first modern Ford GT was a straightforward homage to the legendary Ferrari-beating GT40 race car from the 1960s. It followed a simple recipe: a good old American V8 in the middle of a retro modern body, and loads of torque sent to the rear wheels. However, the new Ford GT is a completely different beast. It was introduced in 2016, exactly 50 years after the 1966 Le Mans victory, and it is a true 21st century supercar. Active aerodynamics help with superb handling, while lightweight carbon fiber monocoque and panels brought the weight down, so its 647 horsepower turbocharged 3.5-liter EcoBoost V6 could shine. Poetically, the number 68 Ford GT of Ford Chip Ganassi Racing triumphed over Ferrari in the LMGTE Pro Class at the 2016 24 Hours of Le Mans. Number 7. The BMW i8. Judging by the looks of it, the BMW i8 is everything a supercar should be. It has an amazing-looking futuristic body and butterfly doors. It also does 0 to 60 miles per hour in just 4.4 seconds. This is by all means supercar territory, so you'd be surprised that this Bavarian gem has its power coming from a Mini Cooper engine. You heard that right, the BMW i8 is powered by the minuscule, mid-mounted 1.5-liter turbocharged 3-cylinder. However, the total power output is pushed to 369 Bavarian ponies thanks to electric power, and that's the i8's little super secret. Number 8. The Jaguar XJ220. Finally, here comes the Jag. The XJ220 was once the fastest production car in the world, and you'd normally expect a car like that to be powered by a mighty V12, but you'd be wrong. Originally, this feline supercar was supposed to have a 6.2-liter V12, but these plans were soon scrapped in favor of a twin turbocharged 3.5-liter V6, sourced from the Group B MG Metro 6R4. A surprising powerhouse indeed, but since the engine produced 542 horsepower, the Jaguar was able to do 0 to 60 in 4.8 seconds and reach 212.3 miles per hour. So this lack of cylinders wasn't an issue at all. What was your favorite supercar on this list? Do you think we missed any other automotive gem? Write us in the comments below, and if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe for more compelling car stories.